Hello, my name is David Malin, and I'm the instructor for Computer Science E1, Understanding Computers and the Internet at Harvard University's Extension School. You're watching one of our videos of the week. For more such videos or information about this course, visit us on the web at computerscience1.org. Enjoy the show.
Hello, I'm Dan Armendariz, a TA for Computer Science E1. You're watching one of our videos of the week. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about keeping IT running. We're going to talk about some of the lessons learned from IT and some of the ways that we keep it going. Well, I suppose that one of the first things I should talk about is always checking the obvious. You'd be surprised how many times you can be on the phone with someone and they'll ask, well, what's wrong with my machine? Why can't get I on the network? You check all of the advanced stuff first, only to realize that the cable's not plugged in. That happens fairly frequently. Making sure the computer's turned on, making sure the power is plugged in, all of this stuff, you quickly learn that you need to check first. So part of being an IT professional involves a lot of hardware work, replacing parts, installing new hard drives, installing new motherboards, the like. In order to do this, you actually have to remove a lot of screws and replace them. Well, you may or may not be surprised with how many screws we tend to lose. We have boxes, literally boxes full of screws that we've lost at some point and found again at some other point on the floor. But it ends up working out because if we end up losing a screw, we can just find the exact same type that we need from one of our boxes. It is actually pretty convenient to have this box of, well, loose screws. Another problem that shops have is perhaps keeping organized. So in my shop, we actually get numerous keyboards, replacement keyboards, and we get to keep the old ones. This is useful because if we ever need to replace just a key on a particular user's keyboard, it's not a big deal to just pull off the key off of a bad keyboard and put it on a good one. The problem that can happen is if you actually need to find the correct key and none of the keyboards are actually labeled. This happened once where all they needed was a simple enter key, and I went through about half dozen or so keyboards before realizing that we didn't actually have that keyboard. Huge waste of time. We've since started labeling all of our keyboards. So the group that we support actually has a fairly even split between Macs and PCs. So you might expect to see one or the other more frequently in our office, but this just isn't true. We actually see both fairly often. Hard drives are a very common failure in modern computers because they're one of the last remaining moving parts, and all moving parts will eventually wear out. Because of this, I highly recommend a backup. If you remember from one of our earlier videos of the week, I talked about the meteor coming to crash into your computer. That's still a possibility if it hasn't happened to you yet. One thing that perhaps a lot of people don't realize about these sort of help desk support areas is that we don't have a lot of magic tools where someone can bring in their machine, we run this fairy dust all over their computer, and all of a sudden it's fixed. Usually it requires a very logical sort of process to go through in order to realize where the problem is, how to isolate it, and solve it. This can go awry sometimes, though, if you forget some parts or if you forget a step and if your logic just is malfunctioning that day. So sometimes being an IT professional has its perks. It can even be a good party trick. For example, recently, just this past weekend, I was at a party and someone got a little overzealous in changing the music and spilled a drink all over someone else's laptop. Well, after quickly taking it all apart and trying to dry it off as quickly as I could, we were able to save the data. Not the entire computer, mind you, but she didn't need to restore all of her data from a backup. I recommended to my friend that she bring in her computer the next business day to our office so that we'd be able to help her out. Well, she brought it in, and unfortunately I wasn't in at the time, and one of the things about being an IT professional is that it's a very close-knit community. As soon as I came back, everybody was making fun of me, saying, "Oh, Dan, why did you spill the drink?" But it wasn't me, though. It really wasn't. Well, this has been a video of the week. Thank you for watching. I'm Dan Armendariz. Meow. Kitty wants to be an IT professional. What's his name? Scratch. Hi, Scratch. See, he's pretending to be the eyesight on my laptop. He's watching me type. I don't know. This kitty's kind of disturbing me. It's been sitting there the whole time. I'm trying to have a serious conversation with people about professionalism, how it's good to be an IT professional, and here sits this cat. Talk about ruining my reputation. It's called Penny. It's not Scratch. Here, look. I probably have a penny. In true form, Penny is going to perform a trick for you by balancing a penny on her head. Yay, Penny. Oh, too bad. Okay.